So that's another story from my book, Zig Zag Zog. Now, this next story is called The Three Sisters of Peru. Once upon a time, there were three sisters of Peru. The favourite colour of the first sister was red, like the blood that flows around our body. The favourite colour of the second sister was purple, like the mountains that surrounded their village. And the favourite colour of the third sister was aqua, like the ocean. They all loved to go to the village school each weekday, as they all wanted to learn about the world. Not just their world in their village, but the world outside their village. They also liked to make things. The first sister would go into the forest and cut down small bushes and make brooms for sweeping. The second sister would weave colourful fabric on her mother's loom and make clothes to wear. The third sister would collect the wool from her pet alpaca and knit bright hats to wear. Often they would go together to the village market and sell the beautiful and useful things they'd made. One day, a stranger came to the market, and he sat at the edge of the market stalls and told many stories about the ocean. Now, although the third sister knew what the colour of the ocean was, none of the sisters had ever seen the ocean. So they decided that they would save the money they'd made from their sales in the market, and they would journey to the ocean together. They thought it would be a good idea to take 1 or 2 items of each of the things they'd made to sell to other villages along the way. So they got up very early one Saturday and packed their things, and off they went. The red sister, whose name was Rosa Redfeather, was carrying 3 of her brooms on their journey. The purple sister, whose name was Papayola Florista, was carrying 3 colourful cloaks that she had made. And the aqua sister, whose name was Aquarina Dolfina, had brought 3 of her beautiful hats with her. They hadn't gone far along the village track when they heard some laughter from behind some of the forest trees. And as they'd got very hot while they were walking, they decided to take a rest under the shade of the trees and see who was laughing and why. So one by one, they tiptoed through the forest glen, as they didn't want to disturb anyone. They found a grassy spot under some shady trees and sat down. Soon they heard the laughter again, so carefully they stood up and tiptoed to where it seemed to be coming from. A shaft of sunlight showed them a clearing a few yards away, and they were amazed to see a witch in the middle of the clearing. She was talking to herself, and every now and then she would burst out with happy laughter. The 3 sisters weren't afraid of the witch because they didn't know what a witch was. They had never heard about witches, as no one in their village had ever talked about witches. The red sister, Rosa Redfeather, was the oldest of the 3, so she thought she should say hello to the stranger. She held up her broomstick and waved at the laughing witch. But remember, the sisters didn't know she was a witch. "Hola," said Rosa, "how are you today?" The witch stopped her laughing and turned around. "Well, where did you spring from?" she asked. "We are on our way to the ocean," said the aqua sister, Aquarina Dolfina. "Are you indeed?" said the witch, whose name was Zeldarina Zaparosta. "It will take you a very long time to reach the ocean," she said, "because it's a very long way from these mountains." "Oh, really?" said Papayola Florista. "That is too bad, because we only have today to reach the ocean and come back." "Why do you wish to see the ocean?" asked the witch. Together the sisters said, "Because we've never seen the ocean, and we want to know what it is and how the ocean water feels." The witch thought about this for a moment and a second. "So you really want to reach the ocean and return today?" she asked. The 3 sisters nodded. "We have to be back before nightfall," said Rosa Redfeather, "or our parents will be worried about us." Said the witch. "Well, I can help you if you like." The sisters were happy to know that the witch, who they didn't know was a witch, would help them on their journey to the ocean. "I am a witch," said Zeldarina Zaparosta, "and I have many magic powers which I can use on you so that you will reach the ocean," she said. "Would you like me to help you?" The sisters all agreed. "Yes, please," they said. "We do so want to go to see the ocean." "All right," said the witch. "Now, coincidentally, you have brought with you just exactly what you need. You have brooms and cloaks and hats, just exactly what a witch or a witch's apprentice needs to carry out magic. So what I want you to do is to each put on a cloak and a hat and stand astride one of your broomsticks." So each sister shared the items she had made with the other two sisters. Soon they each had on a hat and a cloak and were standing astride a broomstick just as the witch had directed. Now in a minute I'm going to say a magic spell, and you will find yourselves flying through the air on your broomsticks. Ever the practical sister, Papayola Florista, said, "But we don't know which way the ocean is. We might get lost." The witch thought about this for a minute and a second. "Yes, you are quite right. I had forgotten about that. Tell you what, I will fly with you and you can follow me, as I know exactly where the ocean is." The sisters all smiled at this. Now they felt sure that they would reach the ocean safely and then be able to return home to their village before nightfall. "So," said the witch, "are you ready to fly?" The sisters all got ready and nodded. The witch began her flying magic spell. "Air of the mountains, listen to me. Wind of the ocean, hear my plea. Three sisters mounted on their brooms. You will fly them, zoom, zoom, zoom. Straight to the ocean like three little birds. They will fly above the herds." And in a minute and a second the three sisters began to rise in the air on their brooms. Zeldarina Zaparosta, the witch, led the way, and the three sisters followed in a line together. They clung on tightly to the broomsticks that the red sister, Rosa Redfeather, had made so carefully and strong. They were kept warm by the colourful cloaks that the purple sister, Papayola Florista, had so carefully woven on her mother's loom. And their heads and ears were kept warm by the bright knitted hats that the Aqua sister, Aquarina Dolphina, had so carefully knitted. And as the sun was hitting the highest spot in the sky, the witch turned to them and said, "We will be at the ocean very soon." And sure enough, soon they could see large expanses of aqua blue, blue as far as the eye could see. Their broomsticks seemed to have a life of their own as they started to descend down towards the sparkling blue waters. The three sisters landed on the sunshine yellow beach sand next to the witch, who turned to them and smiled. "Your wish is granted," she said. "Here you are at the ocean. Now you can feel the ocean waters and the warm soft sand between your feet. But you can't stay too long, as we will need to fly back to your village very soon." The three sisters squealed with delight as they paddled in the water and swished the water through their fingers. They knew that they would never forget their adventurous trip to the ocean and the kindness of the witch who had helped them make their dream come true. Soon it was time to put on their cloaks and hats and climb back into their broomsticks and follow the witch flying through the air back to their mountain village. Once again the witch said her magic spell. "Air of the mountains, listen to me. Wind of the ocean, hear my plea. Three sisters mounted on their brooms. You will fly them, zoom, zoom, zoom. Back to their village like three little birds. They will fly above the herds." And that was the story of the three sisters of Peru. You know, Hawaii is a microcosm of the world, with people here from all over the world, and Noa Hawaii is a microcosm of the traditional arts of the world, with beautiful patterns from many countries. They've been in business for 38 years with wonderful Hawaii-designed batik clothing. Their hand-dyed and handmade clothes have patterns that are based on traditional kapa and tapa designs from Hawaii, Polynesia, Micronesia, Indonesia, even New Zealand and Africa. So check out all of the wonderful items that Noa has on their website, which is www.noanoahawaii.com. So I'll be back next week, so bye for now.